Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our session on P2C's assessments. To introduce P2C for those who have not been familiarized with our company, I want to tell you a little bit more about who we are. P2C is focused on making education relevant for our learners because we know that when learners when learners have information that is relevant to them, they can fully engage in their learning process. Today's session is going to focus on P2C assessments. If you would like a more detailed overview of the math curriculum, please join one of our sessions on providing an overview of our math curriculum that we have within our P2C platform. Within P2C, we have several types of assessments. I will go over each type during our time together today. As we cover each type of assessment, if you have questions, feel free to place those in the chat box, or we will have time at the end of the session for Q&A. So let's go ahead and begin. We will go live into the platform to see these assessments in just a second, but first I wanted to introduce them to you here. We do have formative assessments that give you the ability to assess student learning as you are introducing and reinforcing the concepts in your classroom. Within our P2C exploration lessons, and our exploration lessons are our teaching lessons, as well as within our P2C application lessons, the opportunities to have those formative opportunities for assessment exist. Within our exploration lessons, we have activities called Build Your Skills. Our Build Your Skills give students the opportunity to practice those things that were learned in class. They can be done individually, or you can have students work with a partner or a small group. Our digital platform provides all the resources that are needed to answer those questions in a digital manner. So for example, if it's a problem that involves a coordinate plane, you are more than welcome to use the coordinate grid that's provided in the digital platform. Also, just as with all of our problems that we have, if students would prefer to use pencil paper, take a picture and upload that picture for teachers to provide feedback, they can do that as well. In our application lessons, we have activities called on-the-job exercises. During these exercises, students have the opportunity to show what they know using the same type of answering format as they did for Build Your Skills. The only difference is these problems are within the context of the occupation that is being covered in our application lesson. We'll go over a couple of different types of activities as we look into the platform in just a second. Also, in both our exploration and application lessons, students have practice exercises that they can complete as well. These are great as independent practice opportunities for students. It gives them the chance to provide answers to questions using our digital format and for teachers to provide feedback to those students as they answer the questions. Lastly, we do have check exercises in both our exploration and application lessons as well. These exercises are typically multiple choice and self-scoring, and they're another opportunity for students to show what they know and demonstrate their learning of the skill or concepts that were covered in class. The check questions are a great way to have students practice for standardized testing, which we know is often multiple choice as well. In addition to those formative assessment opportunities, P2C also has custom activities that can be created. We do have an item bank, and teachers have the autonomy to create custom activities to meet whatever your needs are. If you are wanting a simple 2-question ticket out the door, you can create a custom activity. If you and your partners across the building are doing a custom assessment that is going to be the same across the board, if you're going to do that cohesive geometry assessment that all teachers are going to use, you can complete the process of creating the custom activity to create that common assessment and share it with your partners in the building and use that as a summative assignment, for example. There are plenty of reasons that one might use a custom activity. And the beautiful thing about our custom activities is that you are not limited to one curriculum. So if you need to build an assignment that includes questions from pre-algebra and algebra 1, you are more than welcome to do so. So we will review that process as well when we are in the live platform. Next, we do have growth measures within P2C. We will take a gander at our beginning of year, middle of year, and end of year assessments, also known as our BOI, MOI, and our EOI assessments. Our assessments are growth measures. Again, they're given 3 times during the year. They're typically about 30 minutes in length, and they are created by Metametrics. Metametrics is the same company that created Lexile scores. At the end of our assessments with Metametrics, students get a quantile score. Quantile scores are to math what Lexile scores are to reading. Based on those quantile scores, we're able to take a deeper dive with career exploration. We are also able to use that data as a way to differentiate instruction in classes. The student scores are available within the P2C platform. Teachers are able to provide feedback for those formative type assessments. So for example, your build your skills, your step into the career, and your practice questions. Our self-scoring assessments, those scores will be provided for both teachers and students in the platform after students submit those different activities. Our scores can be downloaded as a CSV file so that teachers can take that information and use it for whatever their needs are within the school. Lastly, we do have rubrics that are available for our P2C projects. Our P2C projects are designed to be several days in length and give students and their group mates the opportunity to practice being a particular occupation and studying or reviewing the skills or concepts that have been taught in class. Those projects, again, are assessed using a rubric that students and teachers have access to in P2C, and I will show you that as well. So with that being said, we are going to now take a journey into the platform so that I can give you more information about what the P2C assessments actually look like within the P2C platform there. So now we're going to transition to the website. So this is the P2C homepage. If this is your first session getting an overview of P2C, I'll just quickly show you that on this main homepage, this is where students are greeted with a career spotlight that changes every time they refresh their page. So if I click the P2C logo here, or if I refresh my browser, I'm going to have a different career spotlight there. This is also where their career page is housed, as well as our career exploration tools. We are going to jump into our course here by going into one of our lessons. So when I click view all from our main page here, so again, we have our career spotlight, our my career page, as well as classes. We are going to click view all to view more classes, and this is the same process that teachers and students would go through. I'm going to go to my geometry class here. All right, so within my geometry class, I am going to click on my plus sign, which is going to show me my assignments. But I will note that anything that you have already assigned to students will appear here in this list where it says all assigned. This is also where student scores are housed from this main page. I'm going to jump into where I can add an assignment, and we're going to review those different types of assignments that I just talked about. So the first type of assignment that we talked about are those formative assessments. I'm going to show you within our P2C lessons the opportunities for formative assessment. I will also go over our assessments through Metametrics, and we will take a look at the rubrics that are available within the P2C projects. First, I want to show you the support that's provided for teachers as they are engaging with the assessments here. So I'm going to click on teacher materials, and I'm going to go to our strategies and guidance document. Our strategies and guidance document provides a plethora of information about numerous topics that are both math specific, P2C specific, and some that are content agnostic, information that can be used across all content areas. So regarding assessment specifically, as teachers are exploring, you're able to scroll down. I'm going to go to our table of contents here because we do have specific information here from pages 52 to 77, all about our P2C assessments. These assessments are focused on those growth measures. So those assessments that are given at the beginning of year, middle of year, and end of year by Metametrics. So those assessments have information specifically for them there. It's going to give you more information about administering the assessment, what it's like from the student experience, and then also information on the quantile scores and how to use them in your use of those assessments in class. Going up just a little bit, I'm going to show you that we have feedback here. So we have some information on the importance of feedback, but also feedback strategies. So our formative assessments, specifically the build your skills and the on-the-job and practice exercises, give teachers the opportunity to provide feedback to students. So we have an entire section here that's dedicated to supporting teachers in how to effectively provide that feedback. Scrolling up just a bit more, we have a section that is focused on scoring. And in that scoring, it's how to interpret the scores, and then also how to set clear expectations for your students. And then lastly, here we do have a section focused on custom activities. And in just a second, we'll look at those custom activities and the different ways that they can be used. So again, this is from the teaching strategies and guidance document that is a part of the teacher materials, which is included in each of our math courses. So again, if I switch from geometry to algebra 2, I will still have that teacher materials information there that includes that strategies and guidance doc. So it's there for you to use. Feel free to print it. It's also a PDF, so you can bookmark it as well. So bouncing back to my course page, we're going to take a look at just a couple of those types of assessments that we've talked about so far. So first, we mentioned our formative assessments. And if you have been a part of the math overview session, you've seen the section I'm about to show. If you have not, I'm going to just show you a few components of the assessments that are available within each of our exploration lessons, and then we'll look at application as well as our projects. So going into the teacher view, and again, our teacher view is very much so the same as our student view, the only difference being that our teacher view has those beige boxes or those teacher callouts to support teachers as they are implementing the lesson with students. As I jump into the course, I'm not going to go over the course details. I am going to go over the sections where students are being assessed. So scrolling down here, I am going to jump to the first Build Your Skills section just to show you the nature of each of our Build Your Skills portions of the lessons here. So when initially accessing Build Your Skills, you have your Did You Know section there, which is going to connect students to an occupation that uses the skills that were covered in that lesson. Teachers are more than welcome to take a deeper dive with that career using our career exploration tools before releasing students to start working on the assignment. As I scroll down, the first thing we see here is a formula sheet, and the formula sheet is included in each of our assessment opportunities so that students have access to those there. And so it's similar to what you would see typically with your standardized assessments. So students have access to all the formulas and information needed that or that they may need as they attack the problems that are included. As you can see, it is available in both English and Spanish there within the platform. There are many accessibility features that are available here as well to assist students in their approach or their attack of the problems. So accessibility-wise, if students have visual concerns, they can modify the settings there by clicking on the accessibility options. They can modify the colors on the screen, the font size, and the zoom information. As students go through each of the problems, you will see the type of answer choices are different based on the type of questions that you have there. So this particular question has a text box, which allows students to type out their answer. It has all of the typical, text features that you would use, so bold, italics, underline, as well as bulleting and numbering. We also have a formula keypad that can be modified based on student needs. So if they are looking at inequalities, they have access to one that is specific to inequalities. So based on the information students are studying, they have different options here to use within their formula keypad. We also have a table, and the component that most of our math teachers really, really love is that if you have those opportunities in class where students either need to or want to work with pencil and paper, perhaps they're doing group work, or maybe it's just a situation where that is more comfortable for them versus completing the work digitally, they absolutely can still work pencil paper, take a picture of what they completed, and then upload that image to their answer box here. As you can see, we do have a 12 image limit, but that's more than enough space for students to upload the work that they've completed. And that allows teachers to still give students feedback on their work, even though they did their work pencil paper. With our Build Your Skills opportunities, these are available at teacher discretion. So you can assign all 5 of these, or you could assign 2. And when you are providing feedback, you would know I only assign questions 1 and 4. So you're only giving feedback on questions 1 and 4 when you are assessing students' learning. The Build Your Skills sections are only in your exploration lessons. However, there are a couple of sections that are common to both your exploration and your application sections. Those are our practice and our check problems. Our practice problems, just like your Build Your Skills, include your formula sheet that's here and also space for students to do their work. And again, you have those same tools there. If students need a different digital tools to answer their problems, our platform is intuitive and will provide those tools for them. So for example, if they are doing a problem that requires a compass, they will be provided with the compass. If they are doing a problem that requires a coordinate grid, they will be provided with a coordinate grid. So all the digital tools they need are there, as well as the opportunity to upload an image if they feel more comfortable completing work on pencil paper. Our check problems differ slightly from the Build Your Skills and the practice in that these are not giving teachers that opportunity to provide that feedback. For Build Your Skills and practice, teachers can provide written feedback for each of the problems that students submit. Our check section provides the formula sheet here, and it gives students the questions, but these questions, as you can see, are typically multiple choice and therefore self-scoring. So after students complete the questions here and submit their work, both their teachers and their students will see their score populate in their P2C platform. So this is a great way to assess student learning after completing a lesson and providing feedback and several opportunities to engage students in learning that skill or concept that was taught. Okay, now bouncing back to our application lessons. So exploration lessons are our teaching lessons. Application lessons are the opportunity for students to show what they know by applying the skills they learned in those previous lessons. We do have opportunities for formative assessment here as well. So just like we have our Build Your Skills sections in our exploration lessons, we have what we call on-the-job sections in our application lessons. So here in our on-the-job, and as you can see from the icons here on the spine of the lesson, that question mark indicates this is where some assessment is taking place. So here it's our on the job. So just like with our Build Your Skills, all of the resources that students need to answer those questions are included. After students submit their work, teachers are given the opportunity to submit feedback. The awesome thing about the feedback that is submitted is that teachers have a bit of a cheat sheet here within their blue boxes. So if there are some common errors to avoid or some strategies that can be used to support students along the way, those blue boxes can support teachers as they are providing support and feedback to students who answered the questions. So that's a great resource to use as students are working through these problems. So depending upon the question, there are different levels of details that are provided here for teachers as they are providing feedback to students on their work. As I mentioned during our exploration lessons, our application and exploration lessons both include a practice section and a check section. The practice section, just like the on the job here and the build your skills before, do give teachers the opportunity to provide feedback in writing to students on their work. And our check section is multiple choice and self-scoring. The main difference between application and exploration is that within our application lessons, the practice, check, and the on-the-job questions are all within the context of whatever occupation is being covered for that lesson. So, for example, for this lesson, all of our questions are within the realm of the occupational therapist occupation. So that's the lens through which these questions are posed. Now to bounce back out of there, I do want to show you the assessments that are included within our projects. Now, these assessments are slightly different from what you're seeing here. I'm going to go to our projects section. Our projects are not assessed within the lesson using our build your skills boxes or our check self-scoring opportunities. These are scored using a rubric. The rubric can be found in PDF, and I have a version here that is pulled up. So within the PDF lesson at the end, the rubric is available for both students and teachers to see so that students know exactly what they're being scored on as they complete their work. Our projects are designed to be completed as a group. So as the group is completing the work, they will be working through their rubric, knowing that this is also the rubric that teachers are using as they score their work as well. Our projects are 3 parts, and therefore the rubric is 3 parts as well. So the first part is where students are answering math questions related to the skill or concept that they are covering. So that's part 1. Part 2 is where we are looking at the design of their plan. So students are being scored on different criteria related to the project they're working on. And then part 3 is related to the presentation of that project. So we have the criteria for presentation here that students will be scored on as they are presenting. And then of course we have our overall presentation score there. So this way students are looking at the rubric prior to even presenting and completing their project, so they know exactly what the teacher will be using as they score their assignment. So far we've looked at formative opportunities within our exploration and application lessons. We've also looked at rubrics. Now we're going to take a look at our assessments. So when we mention assessments, I'm talking specifically about our beginning of year, middle of year, and end of year assessments that are used to yield a quantile score. So our assessments, again, are created by Metametrics. These are designed to be completed in about 30 to 35 minutes, but if your students need additional time, feel free to give them additional time. They are multiple choice and about 30 items. The formula sheets and all of the supporting information that are needed to complete the assessment are included for students, and they are assigned just as you would assign your other lessons for students here in P2C. Again, there are 3. And our assessments are related to the curriculum that you are teaching for this particular class. So for example, the geometry assessment for our geometry class, the beginning of the year, has questions that are assessing what students should typically know at the beginning of a geometry course. The middle of year assessment will have questions related to what students would typically need to know at the middle point of their geometry course. And likewise, the end of year does the same for their geometry curriculum. Although you have access to all of our courses when you are teaching, your assessment will only be linked to the primary curriculum you're covering. So even though you can access our pre-algebra or our Algebra 1 courses, your assessment will be tied to whatever subject you chose as your primary subject you're teaching for that particular class. Next, we're going to review our custom activities. Custom activities are available in all of our courses, and they are assessed from the assignment type dropdown, just like our projects and our assessments. The amazing thing about our custom activities is that they can be highly customized. You can have an assignment that is as short as a 2-question ticket out the door, or a warm-up set of problems for students that are very short in length. You can also have a 50-question assessment that you might be using in a summative manner. Our assessments are available to be shared across your district. So, for example, if you are teaching geometry and your district has decided that they want to create a common assessment that all geometry students take, you can create that assignment, add your questions, and then share with all of the geometry teachers in your district so that all students would be taking that same common assessment. Also, which is really a really neat thing about our custom activities, is that you're not limited to one course or curriculum when you are working on these. So I have one that I've started here. As you are creating your custom activities, you are able to not only use the questions from the course you're teaching, but you can pull in prerequisite skills from pre-algebra if you want to assess those. If you're teaching and you have students who are accelerated, you can pull from courses that are beyond their current standing. So if you're teaching Algebra 1, you can pull in some Algebra 2 concepts to challenge those students who are ready for that challenge. To do so, you can find items by tags. Typically, I would, search by course. So for example, if I only wanted to look at pre-algebra, I can search by the pre-algebra course. And what it's going to do is after I click search, it's going to show me questions from pre-algebra. As I'm looking at these, I can see additional tags that are here. I can also look at the problems before I select them. So the eyeball here is a preview button. I can click on that eyeball and it's going to show me the problem that is here. As you can see, the questions for our custom activities are very similar to those that are in our check sections, in that they are multiple choice typically, or self-scoring. So as students are completing these, they are able to see their score after submitting, and teachers will be able to see that score as well. Again, regardless of the length of your assessment or your assignment that you're creating, you are able to share these with teachers in your building. So if you want to use these to review prerequisite skills with students before starting a new concept, you absolutely can. And again, if you want to create that common assessment that all students take at the end of a quarter or at the end of a unit, you can do that also. You can pull those questions together and create that custom activity for students. After assignments or activities are created for students, I'm going to show you where they appear and the different customization features that you have along the way. So I'm going to go back to my geometry class. So going back into that chapter 1 of geometry, if I have students who are working on, chapter 1 here, to assign this, all I'm going to do is click assign. And this is going to give students access to that build your skills, that practice, and that check section that are within that exploration lesson. I have the ability to modify the start date If I changed my start date to a date in the future, students will be able to see that the assignment exists. However, they will see that it's locked, so they won't be able to click on it quite yet. So I can modify my start date as well as my start time. So if it's an assignment that you only want students to have access to after they enter your class, you don't want them to start working on it at 7 a.m. or the night before, you can modify the time when that's available as well. So if your class period starts at 9 a.m., you can set it so this assignment does not appear until 9 a.m. for your students. You can also modify the due date here. So you can change your due date as well as the due time. If you have students who have differing needs and may have IEP accommodations, so for example, they may have time and a half or double time to work on an activity, you can adjust this for those students so that they have more time to work on their assignment than the others in your class. You can also provide specific notes for students for this assignment. So you may say, you know, work on this assignment with your partner or however you choose to assign that activity. If I had multiple students in my roster, on my roster here, I would be able to click to assign this to only certain students or to all students. So I have the opportunity to adjust as needed. If I had students here, this would allow me to assign, but of course it's not going to there, but it would then show up on my main class page as one of the items that I have assigned. So when I enter my class here, I would see this assignment listed here. Students would also see the assignment listed there. Again, if you set it up so that it has a future due date, for those students, they would see the assignment, but it would be locked. So they would not be able to access it yet until it, you know, you reach the date and time that you have made it available for them. In very similar manner, your assessments can also be assigned. So I'm going to go back into my class. I'm going to click on the plus sign here to add an assignment. From my assignment type, I'm going to choose assessments. And if it's beginning of year, I'm going to choose my beginning of year assessment. Just like with the other assignment that we were providing there or looking at there, we can adjust our start date, the student time, so when they can access the assignment, as well as the due date and due time. And we can also add notes there for students. So for example, this is one of our growth measures. So we may say to students, you know, of course, we're going to verbalize this in class as well, but we may say, students, try your best. You may not know the answers for all questions, but do your very best on the assignment as you're working. It also provides you with some instructions here as you are having students work on those assessments as well, so that it can support your language that you use as you're talking with students about the assessments. If you have any questions about assessments as you are working with your students or preparing for assessments, we do have additional information that is available in our asynchronous library of courses. We have professional developments that are available throughout the school year that support the use of assessments. So for example, we have a monthly masterclass. Our monthly masterclass in August, which is the very first one of the school year, is focused solely on the beginning of year assessment. The one in September focuses on how to interpret the scores that you get from your beginning of year assessment. We do similar lessons as we approach mid-year and again at end of year to support your delivery and engagement with students via those assessments. If you have questions as you're in the platform, there's a knowledge base with varying articles that support your use of the assessments as well. So if I hover over my name here and click help, it's going to take you to our knowledge base. And there are a plethora of articles here that cover different types of things. So for example, right here in the middle of the page, we have an entire section dedicated to assignments. So everything from adding an assignment to printing them to editing them. Same with our assessments, specifically talking about the metametrics assessment that yields a quantile score. It gives information on taking it and also previewing it. so that you can see that information there. We also have a section that focuses on scores. So if you have questions about where to find student scores, how to score an assignment, how to export, how to engage with auto-scored questions, all of that information is there as well. If you're not seeing an article to support the need that you have, you can always search. So I can even search by assessment, and as I am typing, I have several articles that start popping up here. If you notice here under assignments, I do have the more option, and when I click there, I have a longer list of the articles that support my use of assignments in class, and it covers everything from searching for assignments to viewing an assignment as a student or experiencing a digital lesson. So it's giving you the support you need as you are engaging with the material that's there. Lastly, the thing that I will show you here is that as you are engaging with the articles regarding assignments and assessments and student scores, if you're not seeing the information that you need in an article, you are more than welcome to submit a ticket, and that can be done down here at the bottom of our page. So just to recap, I'm going to bounce back to our platform. We have covered several types of assessments. We specifically talked about our formative assessments that are included in our P2C exploration and application lessons. So in our exploration lessons, we have build your skills. In our application lessons, we have the on-the-job section. In both of the lessons in our exploration and application, we have our practice sections. All three of those types of exercises allow teachers to provide feedback to students on the answers they submitted. Also in our exploration and application lessons, we have our check sections, which are self-scoring and typically multiple choice. So it's a great way to assess what students have learned and give them some standardized test practice as well. We have custom activities, which allows teachers to pull from multiple courses. So you can have an assessment or an assignment or an activity that covers just geometry, or you could have some skills from pre-algebra, geometry, and algebra 1, all in one assignment. Those custom activities also give teachers the option of sharing those assignments with other teachers in your district. So if you have a common assessment or a common activity over a skill or concept that you want to assign, you can do so using our custom activities. Lastly, those custom activities can range from 1 question or 2 questions as a ticket out the door or activator at the beginning of class, to a much longer, more extensive activity that includes many, many more questions. These can be used as a summative assignment if you so choose for students covering several different concepts there. Again, those custom activities are multiple choice and self-scoring. Lastly, we did talk about, or not lastly, but also we talked about the rubrics that are included in our problem-based projects. So those are provided for students. Again, those projects are typically group work and give students the opportunities to design a project and do a presentation. The rubric walks them through the process of doing that, and it gives them a glimpse of what the teacher is going to be using as they score the submitted projects and presentations. And now, lastly, we did cover our assessments that yield a quantile score. The quantile score is to math what the Lexile score is to reading, and it gives teachers a gauge of where students are. It's a growth measure, so we can assess where they are at different points during the school year, and it provides a means of differentiation in class. All scores are housed here. Scores on your build your skills, your check, your practice activities, and any custom activities can be downloaded as a CSV file. Those assessments that yield a quantile score, that can also be downloaded as a CSV file so that you can see all of those in one place, which is great for teachers to use as well. Any questions regarding assessments and how they are used in class?
I'm in good shape. To me, I think you guys are as straightforward as can be. This is honestly very user friendly.
Awesome. Great. We love your feedback. And even as using during the school year,
Yes.
we are here to support. Our professional development team engages with our teachers in multiple ways. We know
Yeah.
that teachers are busy people, so we have asynchronous activities, as well as, like I mentioned earlier, our monthly masterclass, where it's a live virtual session with our PD team to support the use of our curriculum and products with our students. So.
Yeah. You guys, I'm good so far. Yes.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, if you think of any questions after our session today, feel free to reach out to us. We will gladly answer. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Hey, take care. You too.
All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.